Hello, the crawl tool is not only the best SEO tool for small and medium sites, but it's also constantly updating. And I wanted to start doing weekly recordings where I show you the improvements and what has been done in the past week so that hopefully you can understand the new things and decide if you want to use them. So the first thing that you don't really have a decision on is I've made this pretty. So we've added in favicons. The next thing is a little more functional. On the SEO dashboard, you get a lot of information. You can see here I've got a little bit less than normal if you're used to the crawl tool. If I click this show all button, you can see every information block that it gives you about SEO information in this tab, but some of them aren't particularly useful. Like there are no tasks on here, there's no insecure content, there are no broken links. So the show all button here, if you turn it to off, it will remember it and it will hide the blocks that have no useful information here. So because broken links, for example, is 0, there is no broken links block. Now, if broken links went to 1, if in a crawl it discovered next time, oh, there's a broken link, then it's going to put that broken links block back again. So this just lets you see things a little more quickly, get a little more of a summary view if you want it. Number 2 is the Fresh tab. The Fresh tab we can find here. If we click on it, it's going to show you things that it's found within the last 7 days that it hasn't seen before. Now, what this is useful for is, for example, if you're an SEO or you're responsible for the SEO, but you don't necessarily produce the content or don't produce all the content, then every crawl is going to crawl and look for new content, and it's going to list it here for you so that you can check it out. Now, one of the things that you can also do with this is sort of a competitor. I failed to call it an analysis, sort of watching what they're doing, seeing what content they're producing. Maybe it gives you content ideas. So if, for example, we take our inferior competitor here, we can go to the Fresh tab and we can see what they've done in the last 7 days. We found this 5 days ago. Now, there are other new features that are connected to this, and I'm going to show you those in the Edit Project tab. So here we can set some things on this. Where we're doing competitor analysis, I tend to set the crawl speed to slow. That's not a new feature. That's a feature we've had for a while, but because we don't need like a quick crawl of it for competitor analysis, we're not really worried how long it takes. We set it to slow to be nicer to their servers. Include query string parameters. Default is always no. This just saves you crawl credits from crawling unnecessary pages. But the one I've added is probe offsite. So you can see this says it should nearly always be set to yes. Setting to no will stop probing for offsite, broken links, and relevance. However, with large sites, this can be faster and save credits. And that's true, but another use for this is if we're only interested in getting the fresh articles from our inferior competitor, then we can set this to no, for example, and save our crawl credits, because we're using 1 crawl credit per URL crawled or offsite link to check that, and this will stop checking the offsite links. So if I do that and save our changes, then it's going to use less crawl credits when it comes to do it. And the reason you might want to do that is Fresh is really useful when you use it with the scheduled crawl feature. So here we have scheduled crawls set to Monday. You can set, like by default, I think it's never. You can set it to any day of the week, and then it's going to run your crawl once a week. So once a week, this is going to update with fresh content for you to have a look at, where you get article ideas and go from there. feature number 3 is this. If I take a look at a report, let's just go to, say, titles, and I click on a link, what we have here now is a page info page. So rather than going straight to the link, if it knows something about this page, it's going to tell us some details about it. So we get the title, meta description, linking structure, site relevance, how relevant it is to the site from a previous feature. We get the headers pulled, Google page data, so you need to be connected to Google Search Console for it to get this data, but we know, for example, it was last called 4 days ago, it's submitted and it's indexed. Okay, there's a list of any issues it's found, data about cookies, JavaScript, searches, it's a new page, not a lot. The other thing on there is similar pages. So we use the data that the crawl tool has gathered about what pages are about using semantic AI, and we find pages that are similar to this page. So for example, this is understanding that semantic vector space for SEO professionals. And what it's saying is the importance of topic relevance for SEO. So those two things are connected, and it will do its best to find these things. Sometimes AI is not as good as humans, so we list quite a few of these to hopefully get the right ones in here. Where this is useful is that these are pages that potentially should link to the page that you're looking at. So we've got this article, Understanding Semantic Vectors for SEO. What it's saying is maybe we want to put a link on that from the importance of topic relevance for SEO. And one of the things we do here in blue are all the anchor texts, internal anchor texts to that page. So we know that semantic approach is anchor text to here. And it's not a bad idea for that to then link to this article, or maybe this article to link to that article. So it's basically a suggestion. Maybe you should read those articles or those pages and consider whether there are internal linking opportunities for you. Yeah, and that's 3 kind of features, feature sets. And the other thing I want to talk about, if you go to our blog, there's an article here about the world's smallest AI detection model. And what that is to understand AI text detection, we've created a model that's really small. And because it's really small, it can load into a web browser page. So I'm going to leave a little bit of text to show you what I mean with this. If I click on this link, here is the tool that you can try for working it out. You basically put some text in here. It's going to load the model into the web browser. I click Analyze Text, and it's going to go away and have a look at it and determine if it thinks it's AI text or if it's human text. And in this case, it is pretty sure that it's human. Now, this is a really small model. It runs entirely in your browser. That has advantages in that there's no backend costs to run it. So it's completely free. You can use it as much as you want. The disadvantage is it's a smaller model, so it's not quite as accurate. I think if you read the blog, we go through in detail everything that you need to know about that and using it, and the suggestion is to use it sort of as a pre-test if you want to see if maybe you want to use another AI text detector, a bigger one, to analyze the document. But it tends to give a good indication. The exception for that is news websites, which it seems to think are all AI text. So that's it. I'm hoping that was useful. We'll try and do this every week because we get a lot of new features. and yeah, go from there. And if you haven't already, try out the cool tool. You get some free credits to give it a go.